Hi, Suzy Rhoades here with PassMasters. Welcome to this week's Math Made Easy. This week, our topic will be descriptive statistics. Understanding this concept will help you with your Series 65 and Series 66 exams. Let's get started. Mean means average. It's a fancy word for average. To find the average, you did learn this in elementary school, but sometimes we forget. Take the sum of all of the numbers and divide by the number of numbers. These questions are ones in which you're going to be using your handy-dandy non-programmable calculator. So they will give you one down at the testing center, or there will be one that you can access from the computer that you're using to take the exam. You can't take your phone, unfortunately. So use a cheap calculator at home to practice. 5%, 10%, 7%, 15%, 20%, -5%. What is the mean? So what are you going to do here? You're going to add all of these numbers together, and then you are going to divide by however many numbers there are. 5%, 10%, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 8.666666. That is the average of those numbers. I always do the math twice just to make sure I punched it in correctly. I am an accountant and I always triple check my math because that's just the best way to always get it right. Yes, 8.67, maybe the test rounds it to that. But to find the median, you must arrange the given numbers in numerical order. The median number is the one in the middle. So I always think, I remember back when I lived in Colorado, I was driving the kids to school and it was a snowy, icy day and I ran into the median. I had this big truck and it was really scary, actually. The median is in the middle of the road. So the middle number. Be sure to use your scratch paper for these types of questions. So we have -5%, 7, 10, 15, and 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So when you have an even number, there's no odd number that's in the middle. So what you're going to have to do, 1, 2, 3, you're going to have to take the two numbers in the middle and you're going to have to find the average of those two numbers. So we have 7 plus 10 equals 17, and then we're going to divide by 2. Once again, use your calculator. That is not one I can do in my head. 8.5. I mean, I guess I could have, but I wouldn't have trusted myself. Always use your calculator. 17 divided by 2. 8.5. That's the median. It's the middle number. If there is an odd number of numbers, it's so much easier. So when we had an even number of numbers, we took the two numbers in the middle and found the average of those two numbers to find the median. Let's try this one. We have 5, 10, 7, 15, 20, -5, and 3. So it's the same with the exception of the addition of the number 3. So arrange them in numerical order. And now instead of here, we had 6 numbers. Here we have 7 numbers. So 1, 2, 3. The median here is just the number in the middle, 7. Mode is the number that occurs most frequently, or the rate of return that occurs most frequently. Mode. So once again, they'll give you a bunch of different returns. 5%, 10%, 7%, 15%, 20%, -5%, and 7%. What is the mode? Well, there's only one that appears more than once, and that is 7%. Mode. So far we have mean, average, median, middle. Mode, most frequent. The range is the difference between the highest and lowest number. 5%, 10%, 7%, 15%, 20%, and -5%. What is the range? Well, we have from -5 to 20%. 25% is the range, the difference between the highest and the lowest number. The Sharpe ratio is used to measure risk-adjusted return. You must know that for these exams. The formula for the Sharpe ratio is actual return minus risk-free return divided by standard deviation. The higher the Sharpe ratio, the better. Sharpe ratio measures risk-adjusted return. Let's look at two examples for the Sharpe ratio. Actual return 15% minus risk-free return of 5 divided by standard deviation of 6 gives us a Sharpe ratio of 1.6666, so 1.67. This second example, actual return 15% minus risk-free return of 5, exactly the same, but it has a higher standard deviation. So we take 15 minus 5 divided by a standard deviation of 10, and we get a Sharpe ratio of 1. So remember, Sharpe ratio measures risk-adjusted return. So it makes sense that when the standard deviation is higher, the second example here, that the Sharpe ratio will be lower. Remember, the higher the Sharpe ratio, the better. So for the first example where we had a standard deviation of 6, we had a higher Sharpe ratio than when we had a standard deviation of 10. The Sharpe ratio for that second example is only 1. Risk-adjusted return, measured by using the Sharpe ratio. The test loves it. Correlation is used to measure how much securities move in the same direction. A perfect, strong correlation means they move perfectly together. Perfectly correlated securities have a correlation coefficient of positive 1. A perfect negative correlation, negative 1, means that the two securities' returns move exactly opposite. If one security is up 5%, you would expect the other to be down 5%. So when we're looking to add diversification to a portfolio, we want to add negative correlation, securities that are negatively correlated with the securities that we already have within the portfolio. Let's practice some questions that you might expect to find on your exam. Connor has 4 investment possibilities for her client. The following are the past 4 years of return for each of the portfolios. Which one of them would be the best recommendation for Connor's client? So portfolios 1 through 4. We have 1, 10%, 4%, 6%, 12%. 2, 15%, 10%, negative 2, and 9%. 3, negative 1, negative 5, but 20 and 18%. Or portfolio 4, 14%, 15%, 2%, and 1%. So what is the best recommendation that Connor should make to her client? So what can we do here? We don't have a financial calculator, but we can approximate the standard deviation. Can we figure out what the mean is? Mean is average. Yes. So let's start by doing that. So the sum of the returns, portfolio 1, 10 plus 4 plus 6 plus 12 is 32 divided by 4 years gives us a mean of 8%. Portfolio 2, 15%, 10%, negative 2%, and 9. Also 32 divided by 4. The mean is also 8. Let's look at portfolio 3. We have negative 1, negative 5, 20%, and 18%. 32 divided by 4. What am I going to get? Yeah, a mean of 8. Let's look at portfolio 4. 14% plus 15% plus 2 plus 1. 32 divided by 4. 8. So they all have the same average. So the only other thing we can look at is the variability, the difference between the highest and the lowest, the range. So we're looking for the difference between the highest and the lowest return. So portfolio 1, we have 12 at the highest and 4 at the lowest. So we have a range of 8. Portfolio 2, we have 15 at the highest and -2 at the lowest, so a range of 17. So far 1 wins. 3, we have 20% at the highest and -5 at the lowest, so a range of 25%. So we still win with portfolio 1. Portfolio 4, we have the highest is 15 and the lowest is 1, so a range of 14%. Portfolio 1 has a mean of 8 and a range that is also 8. The mean of 8, the upper return is +4 to 12%, and the lower return is 8 -4, 4%. So the best recommendation of those 4 would be the choice A, portfolio 1. Definitely expect you to see something like that on the test. Remember, the larger the range, the greater the variability from the mean. So we're looking for, since they all had the same mean, the lowest standard deviation. Portfolio 1 wins. Erica has a goal of portfolio diversification. Which pair of assets would best meet this goal? Assets A and B with a correlation coefficient of -0.5. Choice B, assets X and Y with a correlation coefficient of +0.67. C, assets M and N with a correlation coefficient of -0.84. Or assets J and K with a correlation coefficient of +1. So if they move together, that is not offering diversification. You want them the most opposite. So if it was -1, that would have won. That would have been the right answer, but there wasn't a choice of -1. So -0.5 or -0.84. -0.84 offers better diversification. So the answer here is C. Last question together. The returns for the Sun Fund over the past 7 years have been 10%, 6, 8, 4, 1, -5, and 8. Which of the following is not true regarding these returns? So we have mode, range, mean, and median. So mode is the number that what? Appears most frequently. Is 8% the mode? Yes, it is the only return that is in there twice. The range is the difference between the highest return and the lowest return. So 10% is the highest, -5 is the lowest. So the range is 15. That is true. The mean is, I don't know how to do it with my calculator. Mean means average. So I have to add these together. 10 plus 6 plus 8 plus 4 plus 1 minus 5 plus 8, 32 divided by 7, 4.57. This says the mean is 5.57, so that is not true, but let's check the other one. The median is 6. So how would we determine the median? Well, we'd go from the lowest, -5. 1 would be next, and then 4. So -5, 1, 4. What would be after that? 6. That would be the fourth number, which would be the number that is in the middle. Median is 6% is true. So the correct answer, well, the one that is a false statement is C. The mean is 5.57. No, it's not. It's right because it's wrong. So don't let the test trick you on those kinds of questions. It is a tricky test. It's almost like they want you to fail, but you're not going to because you've learned all of my math secrets. That's it for this week's Math Made Easy. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and turn those notifications on. If you have any questions at all about this video, just ask me in the comments below. If you'd like to check out PassMasters course offerings or to enroll in any of our programs, there is a link found in this video's description. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to have you as a student soon. Happy studies.
You got this.